Islam and peace and blessings. Now I sent everybody that. I'm gonna wait till quite a few of y'all get on here. But I sent everybody my Zoom link Friday. A lot of people wasn't at the class, some was, but I did try to record the meeting, but it didn't let me. So I'm gonna give it to you now. And then after this meeting is over with today, everybody who paid, I posted. There's a couple on there that I didn't post, but everybody know who paid. Whoever didn't pay for this specific group, I have to remove you from the group. If you want free law classes, that's what my elite law page is for. That's what my TikTok is for. That's what my YouTube is for. All of that is free. And it shouldn't be free, because I gave you more information in law school to give you, just on videos. But I made all that free for you. This class is not free. It's $50 a month. So after I get through talking today, I'm going to go through this class, the Moorish University of Law, and I'm removing everyone who's not supposed to be in this class, because this is an adept class. I'm teaching you the law, how to apply it right here, right now, and all of that. Everything else I gave you, even though it was adept too, was free. That's why I gave it to you, because I know our people need help. We need help. And that's what my job is, to help, because I know the law. Law governs all events. And we're going to learn how to do everything. Why are you in jail? How to get out. The financing statement. Because there is no UCC. The UCC, the only thing you need is a financing statement. That's it. But you got to know what that document is saying. And you walk right out of jail. But you got to know what to say, how to say it, and all of that. You can't just be like babbling like you're in Babylon. Ain't no Declaration of Independence. You don't need all that. They dealing in commerce. All you need is that document, and you have to know exactly what it's saying. What does you being a secured party mean? But we're going to start at the beginning. This is what I was talking about Friday. Okay, we're going to start with the birth certificate, because that's when everything really took place. Your parents transferred your right of publicity to the state. That's how they became your parents' patriot. Okay, but that was only supposed to be till you was 18, and you was old enough to contract on your own. But don't nobody teach this. But I'm going to teach you the cause of everything, not the effect. Because once you know the cause, you can make your own effect. Now, the cause is we got to go back to the Bible. We're going to have to keep going back to the Bible and the Quran, because, see, in actuality, there is no past, present, and future. Everything is right now. It's just the way they had it, it seems like it's not. When Jesus was born, Caesar Augustus, okay, anytime, any monarch, I don't care who it is, a sultan, a king, a queen, whatever they want to call themselves, when they issue a royal decree, it is legally binding on the whole world forever. It cannot be, it's irrevocable. So if you go to the Bible, Caesar Augustus says the whole world must be registered at birth. Because remember, everybody was on the Roman civil law at that time. Muhammad didn't come with our own system at that time. And I'm explaining that to you. Jesus, Muhammad, and Drew Ali, this is why Allah say don't make no distinction between my prophets. And your nationality card say that. That's why we give honors to all the true and divine prophets, because the great Quran of Muhammad says make no distinction between my prophets. They all had a certain job they was doing. And they was actually working together. But once Caesar Augustus put that out, okay, we're registered at birth. Okay, now here come the birth certificate thing. Then we're going to go through Freemasonry, because I'm going to make that make sense to y'all, because that's not what y'all think neither. That's for straight European. That don't have nothing to do with us. We gave them that. When Moses gave them laws, it was to civilize them. That's what Freemasonry is. That's why they on all fours when they first go in with that leash around their neck. They call it cable toe. That's a leash. Remember, them people was on all fours when they came up out of that. They had to be made to stand upright. We was already upright, independent and fearless. And that's why they sent Moses, because Moses was a Moabite. We're the civilizers of the whole world. Then we're going to go into, and this is what I was talking about Friday. We're going to go into everything, even with the natives. Because a couple classes going to be about y'all, because the natives, y'all are letting them people tell y'all, okay, y'all's tribal sovereign immunity can't be waived. That's what they said. Because our nations supersede their constitution. We've been here. But then y'all let them become y'all trustees, Congress, and then legislate and say, okay, only the officers of the tribal corporation have tribal sovereign immunity. And they excluded the rest of y'all members. That ain't how they go. Y'all letting them legislate away y'all tribal sovereign immunity after the Supreme Court says that can't be waived. Y'all let them legislate it away. Y'all got to pay attention when these people be, because these people something else now. We're going to go into the Quran, finance, banking. By the time you get finished with this class, right, you're going to have a law degree. You're going to be able to teach the law. The real law, not something somebody made up out their head. You don't make up, when you're dealing with another government, you don't make up no administrative remedy. And that's what they teaching y'all to do. You use their administrative remedy. You just have to know how to properly identify yourself, because y'all be saying two things at one time. You're not the straw man, but when you fill out this paperwork, you is the straw man. All that, it just really don't make no sense. And the finance part, it's only going to be a few people that I go into that with, because only a few Moors have been studying finance, like Javel Bay. I know he's good with the banking, but everybody, that's not for everybody, so I'm not going to get up to everybody. But Drelly gave us everything it takes to save the nation. We just haven't took it yet. But we don't know how to run a government neither, because we all over the place. We just going to put everything together, make it make sense. This is what I was talking about Friday. That's why I'm repeating myself, because when I went on the Zoom to send everybody the meeting, even though I pushed the button and said record the meeting, it didn't record the meeting because I can't find it. And then the Moors who was on there, they couldn't find it neither. But they was at the meeting. But then there was a lot of Moors that wasn't at the meeting. So I'm just repeating what I said then. And it go deep now. When it say study yourself, that's really all you have to do. Because you're a walking pyramid. You're a walking land. The Bible says it's formed from the dust of earth. The Quran say that. And their state laws say that. Your right of publicity is land, real estate. But they took it from you, so now instead of walking land, you're a walking entity that they created, because they took your birthright. That is your birthright. Just like Jacob did Esau. It's the same thing. That's where they got it from. That's why I had to keep going back to the Bible and the Quran, because nothing has changed. It's just been reformed to where it looks different, but it's all still the same thing. And then instead of taking your birthright back, y'all still walking around talking about the Uniform Commercial Code is worthless. The sovereign citizen stuff is worthless. It don't even make no sense. And ain't nobody honoring it. I'm going to teach y'all trust law. Because even if you're not a Moor, remember the temple, you still have to take back your right of publicity and put it in your own trust and know how to control your trust. And on the Constitution for the United States of America, which is one of the greatest documents ever written, we're going to walk all the way through there. Religion is the supreme law of the land. That's the sovereign political power under that Constitution. So if you want to set up a trust, you want it to derive its power and authority from whatever religion you say you are. Because if you're trying to make a trust and you putting it under their law, you might as well just stay where you at, because it ain't going to make no sense. Just stay where you at. And then they say, you got to fund the trust. So what are you funding the trust with? Your right of publicity, your real estate, your land. You just got to read. Law govern all events for real. But you are the pyramid. And when you put your feds on, that's the capstone. You just don't know that. You're a walking pyramid. You're a walking temple. But we're going to go through all of that. We're going to go through the birth certificate thing. We're going to go through the everything you could possibly think of, for real. And then the members of the class, if y'all got, when we do the questions and answers, like today, Sunday is supposed to be just questions and answers based on the last class. But since it was too many people that didn't attend that class, I'm telling y'all what I was talking about Friday, which is basically just the curriculum we're going to do. You're going to go into history. We're going to go into science. We're going to go into all that. We're going to go into blood types. But everything is going to be, these are adept classes. That's what they are. On every level. Science, religion, politics, civic, law. And we're going to go into all that and see how it all fit together. Because there really is no separation of church and state. They just tell everybody that. They tell the masses that to keep them ignorant masses. But the people who run in the world, they know ain't no damn separation. It can't be. Because in the United States, under Roman civil law, all that comes out the Torah. The United States is governed by Roman civil law. The divine instruction said we was removed from Roman yoke and law. So you got to just make everything make sense. And then it say, if you look up members of the family and nations, the back of the Moorish Holy Quran, right? It says, come link yourself back with the families and nations. And then when the Europeans did all them public notices to their citizens, all them proclamations, they said, we're members of the family and nations. So you just go to your legal website, whatever you use, look up family of nations. It's that simple. It's going to tell you every member of the family nations have the same sovereign rights as every other member of the family nations. So I want the Moors to get out their head that we have to have approval from them. Everything we have has to look like what they have. No, that's not how to go. Nowhere on earth. You just have to know what you have and use what you have. And then the way Drew Ali worked up everything, especially the Constitution, we're supposed to be teaching nationality and divine creed. Anything outside of that is unconstitutional. If you're telling me something on the spiritual side, okay, tell me how to apply that on the physical side, on the national side. Or you don't know what the hell you're talking about. See, there's a lot of Moors that's teaching that are not ready to be teachers. Because you're teaching what you was taught, basically. It's nationality and divine creed. That's what Act 6 says. It's a cookbook. Just like every other Islamic nation gives cookbooks. It's national and divine. You can't just teach divine. You're not teaching nothing national. Because I've been in several meetings in the temple. Once y'all get to the national side, this is what y'all say. Do anybody want to proclaim their nationality? Are there any donations? And that's over with on the national side. That's not how that go. This is not no church. And then you're going to get to the point, after we go through so many classes, you're going to realize you are the temple. And you derive your power and authority from the great crown of Muhammad. But Jarali told everybody that. He said all power and authority in Moorish Science Temple America is vested in him and those whom he appoints. But you have to be able to understand that too. And it's a mindset for real. It's a mindset. That's why the instructions say everybody has to grow and unfold as does the bud unfold to show the flower. And that's at different times. But it also says you have to say yourself. All I'm doing is my job teaching. That's it. Because the lessons specifically say you got to say yourself. Because your mindset is not my mindset. And your understanding not my understanding. The gifts understanding are treasures of Allah. That's it. He gave me a gift, so I'm giving it to y'all. Or it's just like I don't appreciate his gift. That's the only reason I be doing this. For the sake of Allah. Not for nobody else. Now we can go through the birth certificate, but that's just a simple, it was a transfer signed by your parents or your right of publicity to the state. Now the state is your parents' patriarch. You just sold your birthright for a morsel of bread. Now you can get Section 8, you can get all these benefits. But they don't teach us that we're supposed to take that back. And you can do that at any time when you turn 18. It's your property. But we're not taught to. The UCC don't teach you this, sovereign citizen. The lawyers don't teach you this. Nobody. Because we're not taught. We are a private family. Y'all know who I want y'all to listen to, too? It's a brother named Don Kalam. He be on YouTube a lot. When he gets to talking about trust and private families and private insurance and all that, he knows what the hell he's talking about. He ain't just up there babbling. We are a private family, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, descendants of the ancient Moabite. And we have our own private insurance. That's what Herds Revised Statute Chapter 32, Section 108.75 is. That's our private insurance. And if you read it, it gives us absolute immunity. We not Roman priests, Catholic priests. They go to court and say, I got absolute immunity as the head of state. The law, statutory law here in the United States is legally binding on judges, on everybody. It's the law, statutes. That's what removes the head of state. Our statute says we have absolute immunity under statutory law. What you think? If you read the thing, it says you are indemnified from any civil, criminal, investigative, or administrative proceeding, rather threatened, pending, or completed. That is absolute immunity. Once you become a member of Drew Ali Temple, your history is erased. It says completed. But if you're not reading and studying the law, then you really don't understand that. And it's like I said before, I'm going to get on here and teach this class, right? And I'm going to teach y'all to where y'all can just stand on your own square. You don't need me. Because I agree with Java Bay. Java Bay said the other day, if I can't depend on nobody when I need some help, what the hell is we doing? It ain't even making no damn sense. You got a few Moors who know what they doing and all that. And then everybody else is just like, it's just not making no sense to me. At all. Everybody got to play a part. It's a nation of people. It ain't just 2, 3 people, man. It's a whole nation. You have to know your self-worth, and you have to know your talent God gave you, and you got to use it. Well, just like in the Bible, He's going to take it from you. Remember the dude, the parable of the 3 talents? That ain't no parable, that's reality. If He give you a talent and you're not using it to help the people, then He just take it back from you. We're going to go into that Moorish Holy Quran. We're going to go into passports. Because if you go read 27 CFR, right, or is it 22, wherever their passport section is, right, it specifically says if you have a passport book, your photo does not have to be in it, only your signature. But you have to have 2 competent witnesses with their photos in it, which would be Drew Ali and the Sultan. You're supposed to sign the Moorish Holy Quran in the back. The Holy Covenant of the Great God Allah. Because in chapter 1, it tells us we broke the covenant. So after you properly follow those 999 divine instructions, all you do is count them, you have to ratify that covenant that you broke. That is your passport book. You don't go to the United States government and get no damn thing. You're not a U.S. citizen. You are a descendant of Moroccans. You were born in America. And the temple is not just for the Moors. We is not gangbangers. Those instructions are specific. It says, the Moabites are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire with their Hittite and Amorite brethren. So, okay, who is the descendants of the Hittites and Amorites? Those are the Native Americans. The people that they call Indians are the descendants of the Hittites and Amorites. They just act like they don't know that. But the instructions is crystal clear. It ain't say we came over here by ourselves. We sojourned over here seeking new homes. Moabites, Hittites, Amorites. That's what the lesson said. Read chapter 47. The back of the Moorish Holy Quran says the uniting of Asia. And then divine origin tells you who all the Asiatics are. They talking about North, South, Central America, all that. We're not the only Asiatics. We're just specifically the descendants of the Moabites. We're the Moorish. But you got I think it's basically, okay, over here we were secularized. So with the prejudice that they done instilled in us through their school systems and all of that, we're prejudiced and don't even know it. Because the Moors actually think it was just all about us. No, it was not. It was about all the Asiatics. We just didn't have our national and our divine creed, or the title to our vast estate. And then Drew Ali said, I gave you the title to your vast estate. But you got Moors going to the United Nations talking about what a title is. It's in your hand. It's a Torrance title. Book 521, page 579. That's a Torrance certificate of title. And that's just easy to Google or look up on your law computer or whatever. That is your title, our authority. You just don't know that. And it's a whole lot of other things, too. That document that's a powerful document. Because I use it. I don't. And then you got Moors in jail. Okay, Article 4, Constitution for the United States of America. It's specific. Just read it, please. If you're held to service and labor in one state, remember the tribes are states too, and they states are states under that Constitution. It says you have to be released to the governor of the state. That's what the governors are for. The governors can go to the governors of the European states and remove Moors from their prison. And it's simple. You just use our authority. Article 4. It tells you that. Our authority is legally retroactive to 1928. So that means you're held to service and labor in the temple. Not wherever you at now. But you have to know how to, you got to know what you're signing, how to use it, because it has different purposes. It ain't just got no one purpose now. But you got to know that. You got to know how to, that's what I'm going to teach y'all. Because there ain't no way a Moor sitting in jail, it don't even make no sense. Because we talk to them people. Separation of church and state is absolute over here. You cannot be a member of the temple and the state said. That's what Secretary of State of Illinois said. It's legally impossible. And even in Chicago, they done changed it right now in Chicago. If you go get an ID right now in Chicago, a state ID, Illinois ID, it specifically says on a document, if you have another ID from another government, you cannot take our ID. It said that on the document, so I don't be understanding what the problem is. You cannot keep straddling the fence, though. You cannot keep saying two things at one time. Either you're a member of the temple or you're a state citizen. That's why Drew Ali say if you, if you lose faith in the prophet, cease wearing your turban, fez, and button, because those are our badges as officers of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moors want our stuff to look just like the European. No, Drew Ali gave us everything already. Those are our badges. You're supposed to be your proper person. You're an officer of the temple. Okay, they're officer of what? The city or county? Your authority supersedes this because it's statutory. Police officers don't have no statutory authority. Them people don't even have a delegation of authority. Our authority is our delegation of authority. That's why it says that, our authority. But sometimes y'all can, like before the next meeting, right, which is Friday, next class, you can always contact me ahead of time and be like, let's try a class on this. Or let's try a class on this. I don't have no problem with that. But if you need legal help on the side, you already know my consultation fee is $150 an hour now. Because a law school ain't going to teach you what I know. And this is a blessing from Allah, for real. They law schools, I done taught them. All these lawyers talking about they've been studying this 40 years like Dalton and Thomas. I done taught them. But I'm going to teach my people. And you could be, it don't matter, you ain't got to be no Moorish to be in this group. It's an Asiatic group. Because all the Asians need help. All the Asiatics need help. And that's what the teachings were sent over here for the Asiatics of America. That's what the first page of the Holy Quran of Moorish Science Temple says. Because the natives is tweaking. Everybody tweaking. Then they done made it to where if you a tribal member, they got to go off your DNA. No, everything goes off genealogy all over the world. They're going to tell you what your DNA is. And then I'm going to touch on, we actually going to touch on everything in this class. Everything you can think of. Because law governs all events, literally. Why do we stand 5 on the left, 2 on the right? That's something that you use. Like, say the police pull you over. Put your hands up. That's how you're supposed to put your hands up. Feet at a 45-degree angle. And it's not masonry. It's just signs and symbols for a conscious mind. Freemasonry is for kids. They can't never have the degrees we got. We gave them their little degrees. But you got to know what you're doing. You demonstrating I'm a citizen of the USA under the 7 articles. That's what you're doing. No state or nothing has jurisdiction over citizen of the USA. Why? Because they're nationals. By us being Moorish Americans, we are foreign nationals. We're not subject to no. And you can just actually go and say that, because I had a brother in Connecticut did it. He was in state court. I said, just tell him you're not subject to the territorial jurisdiction of the state of Connecticut. And that's that simple, because he's not. He's a member of the temple. And I'm going to clear up a lot of myths and all that, because, okay, to be a teacher of the temple, right, you have to know divine, and you have to know how that applies national. Or you're teaching lopsided, and nobody's going to have a crystal clear understanding. Everything is divine and national. So you have to teach both. That's why Acts 6 says that. If Gerald wanted to just keep it at church, he could have just said that. And we are teaching our people our divine creed. He could have just left nationality. Everything goes together as one. There is no separation. And we have to stay focused on that. We're going to stay focused on our authority. We're going to stay focused on that Constitution for the United States of America. I want to see who else on this video, because I sent the thing to everybody. I see Jeremiah McMillan Ill. He was on. The Moore was on my Zoom. Who else on here? Timothy Murray. Where's everybody else at? Well, at least if they're not present for this one, I'll be able to send it to them, because this is on the actual Facebook. That's why after I finish with this class right here, I have to go through that Facebook page, the Moorish University of Law, and I have to delete everyone who didn't pay, because you're getting something that you just didn't pay for. The people that paid are entitled to this. The people who didn't pay, y'all can go back to my Elite Law Facebook page, because that really teaches you all the law too. I'm just going to go at depth on this page. But that page is enough to save yourself and get to studying and all that now. My TikTok, my YouTube, and my Elite Law Facebook page. It's over about 100 videos on all three. And all I do is teach the law. So all you got to do is go watch that. That's free. This is not free. And it can't be free, because you can't learn this nowhere else here. And ain't nobody going to teach you this nowhere else. Even with driving tickets and all of that is easy. Just a couple words you got to say. But you can't be babbling, or they going to know you don't know what the hell you're talking. You're just repeating something. Traffic ticket is simple. Give me a jury trial. You can't have a jury trial for this ticket. Okay, it's a bill of attainder prohibited by Article 1 of the Constitution for the United States of America. What's a bill of attainder? Anytime a citizen is punished without a judicial trial. That's talking about fines, tickets, all of that. All of that is a bill of attainder, but they're not going to tell you that. Why would they tell you that when they just fining y'all to death for everything? That's why Drew Ali said the Constitution for the United States is one of the greatest documents ever written. No state can impair the obligation of contract. Our authority is a statutory contract. Once you sign that, it's legally retroactive back to 1928. No state can impair the obligation of that contract. It's just that simple. Everything right there in black and white for real. Even with the governors of the temple are supposed to be able to release the Moors from their state jurisdiction. We are not subject to their state jurisdiction. They can't give you no jury trial, because that's not a jury of your peers. Under the 14th Amendment, right, all us 14th Amendment citizens, the Europeans and Asiatics. Okay, so if they give you an all 12-man European jury, that is a jury of your peers, because we was all 14th Amendment citizens. But once you come into the temple, a jury of your peers are members of the temple. You can't never go to no jury trial unless it's all members of the Moorish Science Temple, man. And you shouldn't even have to go to no jury trial because you're supposed to know how to move. But that's the governor's job. The governors have to... And stop letting... Okay, when people put titles on themselves, even me, sheiks, grand sheiks, that don't mean nothing. Okay? Stop letting people titles think that... Because titles don't make no man. Listen to what they say. How they say it. Because law governs all events. So if you're saying you're a sheik, you're supposed to know the law. Because the lessons say law govern all events. How the hell can you be a sheik, grand sheik, or anything, and you don't know the law? That don't even make no sense. The law govern all events. Not making up all this stupid stuff, UCC, and then it's so simple to get out of prison using that financing stuff. Listen, the financing statement says debtor secured party, correct? And it's a statute. If you're in prison, that means they have you operating in commerce. Because all crimes are commercial, correct? Everybody know that. What does the financial statement say? And you don't make up no administrative remedy out of clear blue sky. You use whatever administrative remedy they got. You just fill it out correctly. You're going to put the security party name on that. You're going to put your prison number on it, and you put the number on the financial statement that you filed as your number. And all you doing is telling them, I have never been charged or convicted with offense against the United States. Because you haven't. They know it's the straw man. But you don't know that. And that's informal. Because like in the feds, you start with the BPA. They're going to write you back and say, this cannot be informally resolved, because it can't. Then when you go to the BP9, the only thing that says is request for remedy. What remedy you want? Immediate release. They're going to call you up there. They're going to call you right up there as soon as you say that. Because they see, okay, he might know what he's talking about. Then they're going to ask you, what does this document say? The financial statement. They're going to hold it out and say, what does this say? This is what it say. You're the secured party. So you're secured in commerce from any debts, obligations, or liabilities of the debtor. It is that simple. You ain't got to do all the stupid sovereign citizen declaration. That don't even make no damn sense. You got to figure out the law and how to say it correctly. And it's that simple. If you're saying you're on a finance statement, you're the secured party, whoever that debtor is on that finance statement, legally, because that's a statute to the financial statement. And that's what you attach it to the 8 and 9 when you do it. I don't know how the state prisons do it. But that's called documentary evidence. You have statutory evidence of what you're saying. You just have to know how to say it correctly. You've never been charged or convicted with offense against you. And you're secured in commerce from any debts, obligations, or liability, or whoever the debtor is on that document. Y'all call it straw man, whatever you want to call it. And it's that simple. None of this is hard. And once I get through teaching, y'all gonna be like, wow. All that other stuff is just, I don't know, that's how they fleece the sheep. Because I done seen Gene Keaton, what's the other brother name that be teaching that UCC stuff all the time? Kind of heavy set glass. And Seville. Man, they charging people $2,500 to do all that stuff. Man, that stuff don't work. And it don't even make no damn sense. I'm charging y'all $50 a month to be in this damn class. I'm teaching twice a week. On Fridays is going to be the class. Then Sundays we come back with the questions and answers from the class. And we going to do this till y'all get it together. Because you got to get it together. Hell, how we going to learn how to run a government? And everybody don't even know the law to run a government. And we going to go into Islamic finance. Because that's what Drew Ali did. Listen, we got a brother that's a police officer, right? So myself and Sheik Rodriguez Parks, they gave him our document and said, how your legal department look this over? They said Noble Drew Ali covered every law written then and every law written now. It's all covered, just with our authority. So that's why I just stick to my guns. I'm not going nowhere. And then the dude asked me, that's a police officer now, he said, make me a Moorish American. This is the Assistant Chief of Police, Moni, Illinois. His name is Jamal Martin. But I don't know. Drelly also said that ask an intelligible tone, you'll get an intelligible reply. Because I keep hearing Moors like USA, U.S., what they call it, United States of America Republic. They was on here today, as a matter of fact, earlier, talking about a religious organization can't make plates. Okay, well, go tell the Vatican that then. Because they make their own plates, money, and everything else. What are you talking about? And all you got to do is go ask. We actually go sit down and talk to the Secretary of State. That's how we know we have to make our own plates, because that's what they said. We are not a charitable organization. That's what they said. So they cannot make plates for us. And then you go to the county recorder and just talk to them in an intelligible tone. They told us the temple was a governmental unit in 2012. It is 2025. Come on now. It's 2026. That was 14 years ago. They said the temple is a governmental unit. This is not something we just be making up out the clear blue sky. And then we got the, I don't know. And every Moor got different good ideas now. But your idea has to be governed by the law, because law governs all of us. Ain't nothing wrong with having a good idea. But law governs all of us, and it's that simple. And I'm going to keep stressing that, because I know it. Hell, we done did so much just without authority, it don't even make no sense. Just without authority. And we didn't demonstrate with the Holy Crown of Moorish Science Temple America, too. That's how we know what it is. You actually have to try to use it at least. How can you argue with somebody about something you've never even tried? Who is this on this video? Was you on the Zoom Friday? McMillan Hill. Let's see. Okay. They say unable to add guests. I don't know why. Was you on the Zoom Friday, more?
Islam.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Was you on the Zoom Friday?
Yeah, I was on there Friday. I got on there kind of late though.
I don't know. A lot of brothers were saying they couldn't get on. I'm gonna have to go look back at that Zoom. Is any questions, anything you have?
Not really. I just was writing down, just taking notes on what to look up and stuff like that to read.
Yeah. Always
I know.
look up that 18 USC section 7. Look up they CFR on passport books.
You said 18 what? US.
See section 7. See, that's the statute. You know how the sovereign citizen dudes always get to talk about the admiralty and maritime law and the gold fringe flag. See, they actually have a statute that explains it. It says any federal property, whether it's a building, car, plane, boat, or whatever, you're automatically under the special maritime and territorial jurisdiction of the United States. You're not even on land no more. They created a statute to take us off land and put us on water. But they didn't hide it. It's written in black and white. It's just it's a lot of study on that.
But in order to demonstrate all this, you got to correct your status first, right?
Yeah, that's what our authority is. See, I took my brother filing from the county recorder, right? And I asked AI. I said, "What does this document say?" AI say it's a status correction. It's an affidavit of heirship. HEIR. It says an affidavit of heirship, and it's a something else. It was three different things that kept saying it was. And I was like, but that does correct your status, because you got to think it's a statute first and foremost. Okay, it's a contract you're going to sign. You're going to file it with the public record, like they birth certificates is filed with the county recorder. That's your birth certificate now. That's your vital record.
Mm.
That's the status correction right there. And then you just keep it with you at all times. You don't Because anytime you might have an accidental run in, whatever, you don't want to go back and forth with it. You just hear it. Run this. That's what the barcode is on there for. That's what they put the QR code on there for. So their officers can just scan it and run like they do your ID. If you
Right.
get pulled over, they're gonna say, "Let me see your ID." All they're gonna do is run the barcode on the back. They're gonna scan it. It's the same thing.
And that's on the what? The nationality card?
Our authority. See, once you fill out our authority, you have to register it with the county recorder because you want to give world notice. Anytime you register anything with the county recorder, it gives world notice. That's why your birth
Mm.
certificate is registered with them because it's a property record. They're transferring your real estate, your right of publicity to the state. So that's filed with the county recorder too because it's really just a transfer of property. So what you're doing with our authority is you're transferring it back to the temple. You're taking it
So,
from the state.
so it'll be in the county that I live in?
No, all members of Drew Ali Temple have to register in Illinois, in Chicago, because he only has one registry. And everybody has to
Okay.
be named in there. That's actual members.
Islam. I remember I was telling you that the other day. I was dealing with a brother. He was speaking on something like that.
Yep. Yep. But we gonna go on all that. We gonna go over all that. We gonna go way beyond all of that. Because you gotta remember it's international also. It just ain't national. It's international. Our authority is internationally accepted. Our even our tax exemption is internationally accepted. We ain't just tax exempt over here. You got the brothers in New York using it right now. The brothers in Tennessee use it. I use it. And you got other brothers use it. That is our tax exemption for everybody, and it's accepted in every state throughout the United States. At Menards, Subway, McDonald's, wherever you go. Well, at
Islam.
least said we're gonna be taxed to death, but we have a tax exemption because they is taxing you to death. You gotta think if you go work a job, you gotta pay taxes to work. Then you go spend your money that you worked hard for. You gotta pay taxes to spend your money. They taxing the people to death.
Wow. Yeah, they killed me at work.
I gotta pay you to work. I thought it said man is worthy of his hire. Then when I want to spend my hard-earned money that I work for, I gotta pay taxes to spend it too. Nah, that don't even make no sense at all to me. But I see what Drew Ali was talking about though. And then it's like I said, when it comes to like titles, people putting titles on themselves, do not let titles fool the Moors. Cause just cause somebody got a title don't mean they know what the hell they talking about.
Facts.
So I think I'm send this to the different Moor. Well, I'm gonna just leave this on this page right here. And then I'm gonna take the Moors off that haven't paid until they decide to pay or whatever. Because it'll be easier for me to just do it right here on this site live than the Zoom. Because I don't understand the Zoom yet. Because that meeting was supposed to be recorded. I specifically pushed that button. Record the Zoom meeting. But I like the Zoom better because you can actually see everybody without having to, like on here, you got to accept them or invite them in.
Right.
But the class is going to be well worth it. And the question and answer session going to be well worth it. And we going over everything though. The trust law, everything. It's going to be applied practical right now today, not no future event. And when it comes to the finance part, everybody might not get that part. Because the Moors is they might go crazy with that part. But you at least said if I wake all y'all up at one time, y'all gonna test something up. But he also say Moorish, you're just plain rich. He wasn't just talking now. He was not just talking. But that's like what a lot of brothers think he was just talking, because that's the way they act. Everything was just spiritual. I had a sister told me she was a divine minister, right? An adept. She said, we was talking to about the nationality card and all that. She said, "Oh no, that was just his inspiration at that time. Basically, like we not Muslims and all that was just like some Christian spirit." I was like, "Huh?" I couldn't believe she got up in front of a whole bunch of Moors and said that.
Wow.
You better off just saying, "I don't understand that part. I can't speak on it," because that's what I do. If I don't understand it and I ain't did it, I'm gonna tell you that I cannot speak on that. Because everybody got their own opinion here. We can all just exchange opinions if that's the case.
Right.
But the job is uplift fallen humanity. And if law govern all events, that's the starting point. You can't uplift your people steady misleading or steady talking about all this crazy stuff. Talk about what Drew Ali bought. Explain that. That's what I want to do. And that's what all the sheiks are supposed to be doing. If you saying you a sheik, that means you can teach nationality and divine creed. So I don't understand what the problem is. I know I could teach it because I done did it. That's the point of me posting all them free videos.
Islam.
Mm-hmm. Just be crazy. And then the Moors still ain't. There's a lot of Moors still not even on here. And I told everybody earlier at 2 o'clock, be on the Moorish University Law site. I'm gonna go live right there. And I ain't want to do the thing with the Zoom Sunday because a lot of people said they didn't see it or they didn't get it and it wouldn't let me record it. So I figured everybody'd be right here listening.
It's like what, 3 people on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you, what's the other brother name? I just keep seeing you on the, hold on, let me see.
It's showing 3 people on this side.
On your side it's showing three. What's
Yeah,
the other
three
brother
people.
name? Do I got their
Mm,
name on there? Oh, this is where the
nah.
three at. Okay, I see it. It is three. It's Timothy Murray, you. Hold on. I just told Amir Tariq Shango to get on here. He didn't get on here.
Yeah, he on.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he said check your email.
Okay, Javel Bay on here. No. Zuel. I just invited all of them. Let me see. So I'm gonna have to start doing this and just invite everybody, huh? Well, they gonna be able to see this anyway. That's why I did it like this today. They'll be able to see it. They'll be on the next one. Now I say 5 people. But they could always replay this back and watch it anyway. I just wanted to let everybody know the curriculum. What happened Friday, I didn't know because you was on there, but there was a lot of brothers who weren't. My book will be a good starting point for brothers who not really adept. That book gonna make you adept because I break everything down to a baby could understand it, and I tell you exactly where to go look. Black's Law Dictionary, statutes, all that. Bible, Quran. My book is a good starting point for everybody. But we gonna have these classes Fridays at 7. And questions and answers gonna be Sundays at 2. But I'm gonna figure out how to do it to where even if, because you know people get tired of, you might have to work overtime or whatever, you still gonna be able to get the class because you paid for it. That's my main thing. I still want y'all to get the class even if you can't attend it because you paid for it. Because everybody ain't gonna be able to attend every class. Because one of the little brothers was at he was at a Friday Holy Day meeting yesterday on Friday, so he had texted me and said he couldn't get the class. So you know, different people got different things going on. But if you pay, you're entitled to the class. But if you got any questions, if any of y'all got any questions or concern, or y'all might have an idea for the next class or whatever, just inbox me. And Zuel, I see you on here now too. I want you to replay this because you wasn't on here first. I look. Java Bay, all y'all can replay this video so y'all have a crystal clear what we doing and which way we gonna go. But these are adept law classes. That's what they are. The regular law classes, I've already done that, even though they was adept too. If you're not paying for these classes in this group, you have to go back to my Elite Law Facebook page or my YouTube or my TikTok, because all I do is teach. And then there's plenty of law classes right there. And it's what everybody else ain't gonna teach you because they, I don't know. Allah said He gets to understand of His treasure. So I just take it as a blessing. But I'm about to get off of here now, Moors. It's 2:59.
Islam.
So if y'all got some questions you want to inbox me about, inbox me. Other than that, I will see y'all Friday at 7 p.m. Peace and blessings.
Peace and love.